Although they come from many walks of life, these people share some special traits. They're active, they have positive attitudes, and they're living well. They also live with diabetes.
Most important thing for somebody who's newly diagnosed with diabetes is the ability for them to learn what we've learned about diabetes.
Nothing you did caused your diabetes. The more you, your family, and your friends know about your diabetes and its treatment, the more you can do to live well with it.
There's a whole team of people behind me, not just the doctors, but then you go a little bit further and you get to my family, my friends.
Not being alone and having good partners and having a good support system is very, very important.
By deciding to control your diabetes, you'll be taking the most important step to ensure a long, healthy, and enjoyable life. Your healthcare team is there for you, but you are the key player in your treatment.
The eye has its own agenda. Its agenda is to accept images, light images from the world, accept them with clarity, process them and transmit them to the brain so that we can see what's outside in the world. That's an extraordinary accomplishment of biology.
Because it just isn't. Yeah, it's just the way the suburbs are. But so in a way, New York might be an easier place.
Recently, two women met in New York to get acquainted. Edith Exton and Susan Matula are from different generations. Their stories are different. They've been touched in different ways by eye disease, but both have dedicated their time and talents to supporting the work of the Scapin's Eye Research Institute and the vision of its founder, Charles Scapin.
Welcome to You're the Reviewer, with those ever-vigilant arbiters of taste, Charlie and Leo. This is a special program devoted to the series of films based on the best-selling autobiographies by deck engineer Al Heinsohn. So, join us now, because you're the reviewer.
Let us plunge right into a look at our first clip, shall we? This is a classic moment from the very first of the Al movies, Al, the Invisible Engineer, starring Al Heinsohn.
Through the use of telemedicine, the Joslin Vision Network will enable patients with diabetes located anywhere in the world to receive diagnosis and treatment of eye and vision problems quickly and easily. Here's how the JVN works. Retinal images are captured at a remote image acquisition site.
Good. Straight ahead. Perfect. Right there. Good.
Within minutes, and with little or no discomfort to the patient, the imaging technician takes multiple images of the patient's retina.
One of the things that I really like about what's been happening is that for the first time, I think artists are recognizing that the arts and education work is as important as the arts work, and that it takes as much time to develop it as when you're working on your art form.
In many ways, it takes more time because they started as performers so many years ago.
They've got to get it like it's down. You know, what they've just been introduced to today.
Young Audience's Executive Director Richard Bell and Director of Program Development Larry Stein collaborated with conductor Rachel Warby, a nationally recognized director of educational programs in the arts, who designed this year's performance demonstrations.
Music has a variety of different elements. It has the element of rhythm, the element of melody, the element of texture, the element of harmony, the element of meter. And for this first series of performances, I simply chose the element of texture because you know what texture is, you know what something feels like when you touch it, and you know that you can look at it and tell what it will feel like without touching it. It's a hop, skip, and a jump away from being able to get them to agree that they will be able to hear something and use their ears like they use their eyes.
Here's the step-by-step process to follow when using the RLS system. First, remove the RLS system from its sterile sealed tray by peeling off the front lid of the packaging until the device and tubing are fully exposed. Find the blue and white clamps and securely close them. Be sure the tubing is properly aligned in the clamps. Place the primary red blood cell tubing into the sterile connecting device so that there are 2 inches of tubing between the end of the cannula and the clamp lock.
Oh, this is a big one.
Fred Sanford having the big one was a running gag that was good for laughs on the 1970s hit television series Sanford and Son. But there was nothing funny when Red Fox, the actor and comedian, died of a heart attack during rehearsals for his series, The Royal Family.
Over the past 20 years, heart failure has been treated with agents that increase the pumping ability of the heart. When I first became interested in cardiovascular research as a former athlete, I had a problem with this idea. When you are an athlete and you pull a muscle, your doctor and your coach don't tell you to go out and run an additional 5 miles. They tell you you should rest. So I entered the area of cardiovascular research with the idea that the heart needs to rest more and not work more.
In the region around Franklin, New Hampshire, the birthplace of Daniel Webster, there's a time-honored tradition of shared work among good neighbors. Before the turn of the century, that's how everything from the Tilton Town Hall to the Congregational Church in Sanbornton to farms around Franklin were built. Whether the job required the combined efforts of a community, the work of a congregation, or just the help of friends and next-door neighbors, folks around here have always pulled together and gotten things done. Franklin Regional Hospital is a good example.
The support was exceptional. I think that appointing a key lead user was important also, and that individual interfaced with people from Kurzweil, and it became a very close working relationship, and the educational process went very quickly.
Each site should have an expert user who really is anxious to use the machine, who becomes very good at it, who knows how to edit, and who knows how to handle more complicated complaints.
This is our new building.
I can't tell you how excited everybody is just to see the structure.
Gathering data on marine debris is also the job of the Environmental Protection Agency. By looking deep inside of harbors on both the east and west coasts of the United States, the EPA is hoping to pinpoint sources of land-based marine pollution. It then tries to work with city and state governments and the private sector to prevent plastic and other wastes from ever getting into the marine environment. The catch today is rich, ranging from Kermit the Frog to half a dozen beach whistles. Perhaps the smallest objects commonly found in the plastic waste stream are these little beige plastic pellets. Plastic pellets, melted down with pigments and additives, are the raw material from which plastic products are created. In Boston Harbor today, there are only a few, but this is not always the case.
Because we found so many pellets in all of the harbors that we've looked at, we've also found the pellets in the sewage treatment plants and we also find it coming out of the storm sewers and the combined sewer overflows. It leads us to believe that a lot of the pellets that we're finding out in the water, in the ocean, and in the harbors that we've looked at, is coming from land-based sources.
I was told a lot, don't have any definite plans about your labor. Don't decide that it's going to go this way because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
I suggest to women that if they would like a natural childbirth, the best way to get what I call a non-interventional delivery is to come to the hospital when you're truly in labor and when things have really gotten cranked up. You know, distract yourself doing other things. You know, watch a movie, walk up and down the stairs, take a bath, you know, go in the shower, whatever. As long as your baby's moving and you're having some pains, just, you know, hang out.
No one's coming.
All right, sweetie, deep breath in, deep breath out. Start to blow out your candles.
The bath, one of several pictures of Isabelle Lambert, a 17-year-old model, demonstrates Morisot's virtuosity with color. Whether the critics praised her or dismissed her, most noted the pure economy of her art, that there was a tension in her paintings because she always knew when to stop painting.
She eliminates cumbersome epithets and heavy adverbs in her terse sentences. Everything is subject and verb. She has a kind of telegraphic style, gleaming with words.
Blow out your cake.
Thank you.
How old are you?
Thank you. I'm 30.
I thought I didn't have enough candles.
That's so sweet. You know, a little bit of nausea, no vomiting, no diarrhea, no cough, no neck stiffness, no anything, right?
No insurance.
Some people get hit in October, November. Some people sail all the way through to March and then just go plump. But almost every intern hits a wall.
The beginning of the design for the house actually started with finding this land and then designing a house that would fit the landscape. In building the house, we tried to utilize as much of the natural resources that were on the site. All the wood came off the property for the house. We did the initial logging with a team of horses just because we wanted to minimize the impact on the ground. The timetable we were working with was that it was best to cut the logs in the winter times where we could skid them on the snow. That way they would be as clean as possible when we yarded them up. Instead of using a truck to haul these logs to a mill them, and then haul them all the way back here, we brought in a small portable mill, which was really appropriate for the small number of pieces that we had. And that spring, we cut them into planks and beams and boards. And then it was necessary to have them separated with stickers and allowed to dry for about a year before we'd start working with them.